And I just want to encourage you of God's goodness for you today. We're talking about Easter. We're thinking about all the stuff that led up to the cross. Some people call it Passion Week. Some people call this Lent, like the 6 weeks or so before Easter. I want to say this. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened before Jesus went to the cross. I mean, his best friends, he was facing death, and his best friends, they just didn't want to hear it. They came to, it's in the New Testament. I want you to take a look at it in the book of Mark. But, they came up to eat the Passover feast together. And they get into the upper room, and they're so concerned with who's going to sit at your right hand and who's going to sit at your right hand in the kingdom. They didn't even ask Jesus. They didn't even wash his feet. And back in the day, that Jesus walked the earth, there was dust. That's what you did. You go in the house, somebody washes your feet because they're nasty and dusty. And they didn't even ask to do that. I mean, then they go in the garden and they fall asleep. And then, man, Peter denied him 3 times. 3 times. I ask you to think for yourself, not Peter sucked, not he was a bad guy. How many times have you denied him? In your heart or in your mind or with your mouth or with your actions? How many times have you denied him? Peter denied him. By the end, when Jesus went to the cross, really only one of the disciples was still there with him, and his mother. Really only one. And for Pete's sakes, did I even mention Judas? Do I have to? So after it was all said and done, I just want to talk to you about God's love for you. Man, we can mess up in a million ways. After it was all said and done, he loved them. After he rose from the dead, he sought them out. They were like, man, we're defeated. We're going back to our boats. We're going to go fishing because that's the only thing we know, and Jesus is gone. He rose from the dead. He rose from the dead, and he went out to the seashore, and he looked them up, and he loved them, and he made sure they knew it. It wasn't some, pie in the sky thing. He made sure they knew that he loved them. We can fail like we have never failed before. And I'll tell you what, every day of the week, I fail like I've never failed before, and I'm going to do it tomorrow again. Not just to prove it can be done, but just because I'm that slow. And Jesus still comes back tomorrow morning with new mercy. He still comes back tomorrow morning and says, I love you. I love you. You're my child, and I will never let you go. So know today that Jesus loves you. And when I'm saying love, I'm not talking about a kiss on the cheek. I'm talking about stretching out his arms and dying. Taking every sin you ever committed on his back. Raising from the dead and coming back and loving you some more. He loves you. He loves you today. Walk with that. It's good.